Friday! Woo!
Friday!
Happy Friday, house seats. We're here with Bob Torti.
Hello.
Torti. Bob needs a vacation, first and foremost. We were talking before the show started. He needs a vacation, dude. You need to go somewhere like
I got to learn how to
fantastic.
relax. I just can't do it yet.
I love that you took time on a Friday to come do this.
Absolutely.
Because first of all, we have until Andy had thrown me your name and all this. I've seen you before. Mm-hmm. I've seen you in Rock of Ages.
You have?
I have. I've seen you, and I probably saw you way long ago in Starlight Express, one of my absolute favorite shows.
Going back, you were 6.
I was no. I was in high school.
Look at
I went to that.
Look at Jane Krakowski.
Yeah. Protective.
You were in high school.
I was something like that. I know.
Yeah. I was 26 years old.
Yeah.
26 and a half.
Okay.
Didn't know how to skate.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No.
Oh, my God.
No. As a matter of fact, my manager called and said, hey, I've got an audition for you in New York for Broadway. And I said, are you kidding? That's the big time. I'm not going. He goes, oh, you're going. What is it? Well, it's Andrew Lloyd Webber. Oh, awesome. What's the show? Starlight Express. What's it about? Trains. What do? You play a train. How do you play a train on Broadway? On roller skates. Oh, I don't skate. Now, I skateboarded.
Okay. Oh, that's sort of helpful. No,
not
really.
even close. Not even close. I took one lesson, and I'm literally like that. You know when a toddler learns how to walk?
Yeah.
That's what I look like.
On those shoes.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
So I get out there. I get past it's 3-day audition. Get past the singing. Get past the dancing. Now it's time for the skates. And I go, well, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way.
Right.
Because people are doing flips and splits and this and that. And I am not kidding you. I can barely stand.
Yeah.
So
he had a hard time getting here.
I got past that. Then they whittled down literally about 1,000 guys to 50.
Oh, wow.
So we're down at 890 Studios. Great place. Amazing Broadway history there.
Yeah.
Riding up in an elevator. Oh, it's Mikhail Baryshnikov. Turn for me, will you? So we get there. In the room is Trevor Nunn, who directed it.
Okay.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
All the producers. Probably like 20, 30 people on that side of the table.
Right.
And we all have numbers. It's the first guy. And I thought, it's going to be a group thing. No. We're all singled out. Individual.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I see what they're doing, and I'm starting to panic and sweat. And I said, I listen, I got this far. It was fun. At least they saw me. Whatever.
Yeah.
Plus, I was 26 and foolish. So they called me out. And
what number were you?
I don't
Were you holding up your number?
Don't even remember.
Okay.
No, they were taped on.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And they call me out, and they say, skate forward. And literally that toddler with a dump in his diaper going in a
Trying
circle
to go
halfway, and then now skate backwards, and I keep going. It's just
so like Barbara Streisand and a funny girl, just like
she was even better than that.
Oh, okay.
She was better than I was. And then they say no to skate backwards, and I'm sorry, I can't. This is what it is. And then it just got awkward. It's just, quiet in this room. And then I thought, I go, all right. So as fast as I could, I skate across the room, and I purposely throw myself into the wall.
Yeah.
I get up, skate across the room, dive headfirst into a bunch of chairs.
Yeah.
Get up, go sliding headfirst, into a trash can, and finally, and I'm laying on the ground, Pat, like this. And Trevor Nunn comes over, and he reaches down and picks me up, and it says, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, look, obviously, I don't know how to skate, but I just want you to know that I'm going to learn, and I'm not going to get hurt doing it. They called me the next day.
What? See?
Yeah.
And
And
everyone out there is cheering.
And I was the only actor who was nominated for a Tony Award.
I know. And see, I was going to say, I am in the presence of a Tony-nominated actor today.
Well,
fabulous. I used to sit a little higher.
I used to sing for 25 years, singing a doo-wop band, and when they introduced me, they say Tony-nominated Robert Torti. And then they'd come out and say, you know what it means for somebody from Southern California to say that they were nominated for a Tony Award? They lost. So, loser.
Well, hopefully we can get Emmy nominated in there too.
Yeah,
because
that would be nice.
we have another project that he works on CNBC called
The Filthy Rich Guide.
Filthy Rich Guide. So it's sort of like, as we were talking before the show, I was an avid watcher as a kid of Robin Leach's Lifestyle, The Rich and Famous, which this is a sort of almost reboot or a grown-up version of the show on CNBC. And you've been doing this for how long?
We're going into season 3. Yeah, it's a hipper, more today kind of thing. I mean, we make fun of the top 1% in the world. Like when we went to New York, we were doing a piece on the Palace. and they have these suites that go for $25,000 a night.
Yeah.
So the show was based on how to survive in New York City on $25,000 a day. And the suites were literally that. They came with a private butler, a private driver, with a Maybach.
Yeah.
But that's it. There's no food. There's no nothing.
Oh, that's extra.
They're
all the
5,000
alcohol,
square
that's
feet.
extra.
Everything.
Everything's extra.
And
so you can't just go write a check and be like, I'm good. This is my all-inclusive trip to New York.
No.
It's just the room and the butler and the Maybach.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's not even tax.
Yeah.
So I had asked the concierge about, some of the people who have stayed there. And he goes, I can't tell you. I said, well, obviously, there's some very rich people, but do people, book these out? He goes, actually, a couple months ago, we had a family come out and they rented all 4 suites.
Oh, okay.
For 3 months.
Oh.
And I said, for 3 months? He goes, yeah, it was the family, and he had each of his kids had their own suite. Now, each suite is 5,000 square feet.
Oh,
and
just small.
I said,
in New
so
York.
$25,000 a night? And he goes, no, we gave him a break. We only charged him $250,000 a month.
Well, hello.
I
For
haven't
3
been.
months.
I haven't been on vacation, and now they're paying $3.4
What
million.
is that? What does that feel like? Do they let you in the room and do let you like? Just the camera crew.
No.
And,
Yeah, we were in the room,
Yeah.
and it was the Harry David's. Is Harry David's a jeweler? Correct.
Yeah,
Very famous
Harry
jeweler.
Winston.
Harry Winston.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And,
Sorry, I only know that because I had to buy one recently. So that's why I know.
But in
Yeah.
this one suite, there was
There's my money gone.
there was $1 million worth of jewelry on display.
Wow, just there.
Just there
Yeah.
in little.
Can you try it
boxes,
on?
and it's like,
If it's
no.
part of the room, like I'm gonna walk around with my tiara.
You just stare at it, and
Gotcha.
then
Okay.
downstairs
Wow.
is a bar that you actually have to have a card to be even be able to go into.
Yes.
And I have a picture. I should have sent that one because I was hysterical. Where I'm leaning up against this liquor cabinet, and there's about 30 bottles, 35, 40 bottles of alcohol, and they said it's $27 million worth of alcohol. In there.
Yes.
30 bottles.
I think I've seen this episode because I remember them saying you can't just go into this bar.
No.
This bar is like for the super. I watched this like not even a week ago. I feel like I just saw this episode.
We had
all those fancy bottles of like Louis of whatever.
Yes, these are
that
from
you're
the
just like,
1600s.
how much per shot was like
$3,500 a shot.
Yes, I watched this.
Okay, so
I just saw this.
And then there was a jacuzzi on top. So we did a whole thing where I'm in the jacuzzi and the butler brings me a bottle of Romani.
Remy?
No, it's a bottle of wine, but the wine was $25,000 a bottle.
Oh my God.
And they said, "Do you want to hold it?" I said,
As much as your
hell to
room.
the no.
Wow, no.
That's worth more than I am.
Oh my God.
But I'm in the jacuzzi, doing the whole thing, and it's like, it's like living the lifestyle that everybody wants to live, like I do, where you can see the Empire State Building, and the Empire State Building can see you.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? When I watched Lifestyles as a youngster, in that sense, it was just more like that. It was wealthy, but you couldn't even imagine. Now it's like
this is beyond.
That's insane.
It is absolutely beyond. I mean
oh
the stories and the money and this and but we have a lot of fun with it. The production team and the directors and editors. I mean, they're the ones who make me look smart because I ain't smart.
You are, and you're probably worth getting one of your own wax people over at the Venetian. Were you guys even close with Rock of Ages? Because when I just went there last night,
right?
And they had this is probably before they kicked Blue Man Group out, but they had Blue Man Group wax, figurines. There's me with probably.
No, we didn't. We didn't get our wax figures.
Phil, or no, Matt Goldman looks like that's probably. I knew the original 3 guys because I worked with them.
Oh, that's cool.
They definitely got them, dead on with the waxes. Have you ever been to the museum there?
I have.
It's kind of creepy. Actually,
it is very creepy
when you walk into this room where all of them are sort of standing there, and I'm told at Halloween they do fog machines and laser lights, and actually real actors come out.
Oh my gosh!
In that, I was freaked out enough with this whole room where Jennifer Lopez starts it. There's probably like 30 figurines.
Okay.
Everyone from Julia Roberts doesn't look like her. George Clooney. They oddly enough had Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie separated.
Oh, of course.
I think they probably were once next to each other,
Right.
but they're now across from each
Jennifer
other.
Aniston was leaning over.
Yes, yeah. And then they had J-Lo, and they had Nicki Minaj, which was, and apparently they're supposed to be life size of but obviously her butt was a lot larger than her body was.
Right.
But yeah, it was creepy. I did this photo with Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
Well, I posted it on my Instagram page. I was like, oh my God, it's surreal. And I'm like, No, Donald Trump's tan hand got in there too. Because I was like, that. Yeah, it was creepy, creepy, creepy. Tan hand just sort of slipped in there.
Well,
But,
here's talking about this. We did an episode, a story on this rich guy from New York, back in the 20s, I believe it was, and he would do business in London, and he met this woman, and he wanted to marry her, and he said no. She kept fighting no. He goes, if you marry me, I will build you your own castle in the United States, in New York.
Oh, okay.
So we visited this place, and it's I want to say it's like 200 rooms. It's literally the first infinity pool. They had a pool, and then right over the pool was the lake, the man-made lake.
Okay.
But the freaky thing about this, in the rooms, and I wish I had a picture of it, in the rooms were mannequins dressed in their clothes, including the taxidermy dog. In each room. And I was sitting there, and I took a picture where I kind of froze. Like, I was hanging there and stuff, and it's this museum. But supposedly, and I didn't have the balls to go upstairs because they said, you need to go to the third floor, because on the third floor is the mannequin dressed in her wedding gown descending the staircase. And it was freaky. They were everywhere in every room. So we did a whole thing about this, and I kept taking a picture of this one guy. I said, this is the mannequin that comes alive at night and kills people.
See, I'm freaked out even when I drive by those U-Hauls. You know, they have the 3-story U-Hauls with the characters against the window.
Yeah,
I think they're really. I think they're really people there.
I know.
This room scared the shit out of me when he walked in, and I think it was Johnny Depp's character. Now, Johnny Depp, I'm told, does this every now and then, but if you go on the ride at Disneyland, the Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, the old characters from back in the day, they look like figurines.
Right.
But the updated versions they've done of, I think they have one version with, what's the guy's name who played the captain? Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah.
They have one of him, but the rest of them are all these little Johnny Depp's throughout the place, and they all look so real.
Right.
Well, this one was standing right in the middle of all these figurines, and I swear I was standing next to him, and he was just moving, and I'm like, it's freaky.
Yeah. Well, this was
that's just disturbing.
And
I
asked the people who, because they it's a beautiful. I mean, there are rose gardens and this and this.
But how do you sleep at night in these guest rooms when people are staring at you?
200 acres, and I had said to the people, I said, do you guys live here? Oh, hell no. It's too freaky in there. We just show up in the morning.
But we leave before the night falls.
And the mannequins were made to look like that.
So
and
freakish.
All over the house, like the marble had the woman's face, her likeness carved into it. I mean, this guy had some cash. But
this is when you know it's like Ghostbusters 3 right there. That can happen in New York. Like just bodies coming out of the marble and the mannequins doing their thing.
It was absolutely, I mean, the place was gorgeous. Was absolutely gorgeous, but a little freaky.
A little freaky.
That's where you get money.
We're talking money, 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 money. Oh, I don't want to sing that song. That wasn't his theme song to his Celebrity Apprentice. I think we have better ratings than Arnold Schwarzenegger right now on our show, though. What? So you're still in production for this show. You're coming back.
Yes, we're coming back with season 3. Actually, I was emailing back and forth with my producer today. When it looks like next week I have to be in LA for Criminal Minds because I'm doing a guest spot on Criminal Minds, and then after that. 4 days. Because what I used to do is I used to go on my day off. See, this is why I'm on vacation.
Yeah, see, so you use your day off to go do a show on CNBC.
I'd fly to New York.
Also within Rock of Ages. Also in Vegas. You're just busy.
I'd fly Sunday night on a red eye after the show. Get there at 6 a.m. Get to the set by 8. We'd shoot until 8. I'd take the next morning flight. Get back here around 2 in the afternoon. Sleep for a couple hours and go to work.
Oh my God.
And I did that for 2 years. So
you do need to. We're going to help you find a vacation.
I got to learn.
We need to help him find a vacation.
I got to learn.
I can't spring for $25,000 a night for the Palace and your own butler, but I could pretend to be your butler.
Yes, you could.
Okay, that's fine. He's not having any alcohol today. It's okay. He's got things.
I got to be responsible.
He has soft hands.
Tired. Yeah, but these are working man's hands.
I know, but they're soft.
Speaking of, I brought you something.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yes.
He brought me a gift.
I brought a gift.
Wow.
It's a toilet paper roll. No.
It's very wide.
One of our crew guys. This is actually filthy rich toilet paper rolls. See, they don't go for the small.
This came right from the Palace Hotel.
That's right.
Their rolls are not like our rolls.
His daughter had ordered a magic wand online.
Okay.
And waited, and finally it came. So she got it, tears it out of the package, and points it at her dad. Points it at the dog. slams it down, said, doesn't work, send it back. So I said, Glenn, because I do a lot of woodwork, sculpture, stuff like that. I said, Glenn, I'm going to make your daughter a magic wand, but I'm going to put magnets in the end of it. So don't tell her. Just have some magnetic stuff around the table. And then this way she'll think it's magical. So I do that. I post that. And this is the funny thing about social media. I've sold 25 of them so far. Okay. Which I wasn't planning on selling. Okay. Which is great. But these are them.
Wow.
So they're turned. Oh. And those are vintage buttons.
Look at the button on that.
That's a vintage button. My wife's grandmother, we had a tin of them, and my wife is the one who came up with the idea.
Turn into champagne. Huh? Oh, like that. Yeah. Other way. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Scott
So that's what came out. And
this is beautiful.
It's funny because I got contacted. A buddy of mine's a prop guy in L.A., and then he posted it to his friends, and so I got contacted by the prop people from Blackish.
Yeah.
The kids into wizardry.
Yes.
So they're ordering a couple of my wands, and it's like. So you talk about taking, I
this
make
Tony-nominated gentleman is all over the place.
I make magic wands in my garage. Let's not get crazy. But the next thing is, a friend of mine said,
I don't know what I was turning you into. Only he will know.
She goes, you need to turn these into walking sticks.
Oh yeah.
So I bought, with what I made from the wands, I bought a bigger lathe, and then I'm going to get vintage doorknobs and put those on the end of gentlemen's walking
You are fantastic.
Sticks. I'm trying.
He's a crafty one.
I'm trying. I've got nothing but time. Bing. Rock of Ages ended a month ago, and
I know. Let's talk about this.
I work a lot, yes. Yeah. But it's not enough. I come from.
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to keep the toilet paper roll too.
Yeah, though, absolutely. That's the magic holder.
I know that's. You know what the best little idea that I learned from an old friend of mine was to take cords and hide them in here in toilet paper rolls. Like appliances, like cords, like your toaster,
F sharp,
like a B flat. Yes. Let's talk about Rock of Ages because you have been here as long as the show has been at Venetian and then over to the Rio as well.
I did. I met Kristen Hange, who was our director, 6 years ago on a show that didn't succeed called Surf, the musical.
Yes.
That was over at Planet Hollywood.
We know about that show.
Yes.
It lasted a week.
I think we rehearsed longer than. I mean, let's put it this way: we opened. It's 1,600 seat house over at Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, upstairs.
Opening night, we had 1,600 people. The next day was a 2-show day. We had 30 at the first show, and I think 27 at the second.
And Andy just left the room, so clearly he was one of those seats that just left.
Yeah,
sorry.
He goes, "Yeah, you're bringing up."
It was a bad memory for him.
I mean, it was a beautiful show. Yeah. It was just for whatever reason. So I go back to L.A.
Eiler in our office, he had attended the show that week because I think we had given away some tickets on house seats, and then it was beautiful. But
obviously you find out certain things aren't meant to be, and they're done for tax reasons. Anyway, but you didn't hear from me. So then I go back to L.A. and I get a call from Kristen saying, "Hey, listen, we're doing Rock of Ages. Are you interested?" I said, "Sure." I don't know the show. And then
you have a habit of not knowing these shows, Starlight Express. I don't know what is that show. No,
but that was it was brand new. I mean, I grew up in my high school. We did Superstar. We did Roar the Grease Paint, Smell the Crowd. We did West Side Story, Godspell. Pippin, all this stuff. We never did Oklahoma because Hurley.
You could,
well. If I was Hugh Jackman,
he looks like.
But so she called and I said, sure. If we can work out the deal and stuff. And then they sent an email saying you're going to get an offer for Hertz. This is how little I knew. I went, I'm kind of a big deal. They're giving me a rental car. I'm just saying. Find out that Hertz is the character that I play.
Yep.
So I thought it was 6 months. Whatever. Yeah. And I would do, this was before Filthy Rich Guide. Yeah. I would, Sunday night, get in the car, drive back to L.A., see my kids for like 10 hours.
Okay.
Get back in the car, drive here, go back to work on Tuesday. And we did that for like 9, 10, almost a year.
Yeah.
And the show kept going. And it was like, oh, you know what? Because as actors, you never, you don't buy the house until you know that, it's going to continue.
Right.
So I was tired of it because, I have my wife and my kids. And so I said, let's
going back to L.A.
And it's like, let's put the house. And I built my house in L.A.
Oh, wow.
So I love that house.
Yeah.
I said, it was like November 12th. I said, we have friends of ours that are realtors. Let's put the house on the market. And they're saying nothing's going to sell until like January, February or whatever. And it sold in less than 30 days.
Oh, shoot.
So we went, okay, well, there's the sign. So then we came out here, lived in an apartment for a minute, again, just waiting.
Yeah.
And then we finally found the right house in Henderson, and we love it. And have been there for 2.5 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's over there by the Chick-fil-A because he's tried very hard to get in there, and there's a line out the fucking door for a piece of chicken. What the hell?
God.
It's just fucking chicken, people.
I make magic wands, and all I had to do was make chicken to be rich. Screw you.
He's going to disappear the line. Bing, 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 bing.
Chick-fil-A.
Although he did tell me top of show, and this is really interesting because living downtown, that's where I live. I'm an avid Postmates and Uber Eats person, mostly Postmates because Uber Eats doesn't come to the door.
Oh,
what the is that about? I don't know. Why am I bleep myself? I bleeped myself out. I can say fuck. They don't come to the door. Half the time they're like, I'm here. I'm like, are you going to pick up a fare after this? Like you're going to pick up a person? So they don't want to come out. And half the part of living in an apartment is not leaving the apartment.
Yeah.
So I've had to go down and
get
the food. I know. So Postmates. So you have a son who delivers something?
Yes, yeah.
He probably has delivered to my house before.
Yeah, my son. I brought him out here, and he's been working for a land survey company, and he's doing great.
Yeah,
making the most money he's ever made. I'm very proud of him.
Nice.
But he's moving back to L.A. But he's 27.
Yeah.
So, and I'm Italian. Screw you. So what?
The guilt trip never works.
Yeah. And, but he drives for Postmates at night, and he had said that somebody and we live in Henderson.
Yeah.
Somebody ordered from Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
So he picked it up from Chick-fil-A, dropped it off at the strip, and they gave him a $30 tip.
That's amazing.
I'm in the wrong job. I make magic wands, people.
Where can they find these online?
Just right now I just have them on my Facebook page. Everybody says I need to get an Etsy account. I don't know much about
Etsy.
Yeah,
we just ordered some things for our wedding on Etsy.
Yeah.
You sculpt as well.
I do, and what I do love about the stuff like this is the stuff
this is a really nice one.
The stuff that I make is I like one of a kind things.
Yeah.
So there's not I don't want to duplicate them.
Right.
I like the idea that they're all one of a kind, and that is a dream of mine to work out of my studio because my 3-car garage is my studio where I've got everything.
So how long would something like this take you to make?
Well, the first one took forever.
Yeah, and now it's a prototype.
Then and then they'll probably take me about.
You're going to see me with this all the time at work.
Start to finish, probably like half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah,
and then I got to seal them and stuff. But
I like them.
But yeah, my goal would be to do one of a kind pieces of art and get commissioned and just sit there and smoke and drink like you people do.
Every Friday we're doing only that. Every Friday, that's all we do around here.
I'd love to smoke and drink
after
while I
this
work.
We do nothing else. That's originally how Scott got me to do a show, was just feeding me alcohol. He's like, you should really do a show. I'm like, what the fuck? Sure. When you did Starlight Express, did you do the show here in Vegas?
I did not.
You did not.
I just did it on
Broadway.
Just on Broadway.
Yeah.
And it was funny too because New York was a different time. It was 1986. And
it was dirty, filthy, fabulous.
Yeah, and it was during my practice marriage. Anyway, so we had rented a house.
Something to look forward to.
I literally. No, that's not my practice.
This is the real marriage.
That's my real life.
This is the real one.
That's 22 years us together. And she's also my
I didn't
wife.
know he was married to Olivia Newton-John. You didn't tell me that.
Listen, my wife is also Tony nominated and was handpicked by Michael Bennett at 17 to go into A Chorus Line. Ooh. She was, and before Michael had passed away, he was her little golden girl. He was writing a new musical production of The Turning Point with her in mind. Yeah. And they passed away. Yeah. But yeah, so we met actually doing Smokey Joe's Cafe.
Oh, really? Oh.
So Jerry Zaks directed it. I like that Joy McNeely choreographed it. Joy McNeely was in the chorus of Starlight Express. Okay. That's the first time I met him. And then fast forward 20 years, he's now a famous choreographer. So in the breakdowns in LA, they said there's this new show. And at the time it was called Baby That's Rock and Roll. Okay. And said, we're looking for a Bob Torti type.
Oh, you already, see, I told you had your own wax figurine.
So
they're already looking for you.
I go, wait a minute. I know this guy. So I go to the audition and sign in and say, how's everybody doing? Bob Torti.
They're like,
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my God.
So I don't get the job. It gets better. A younger Bob Torti type from my same agency gets the job.
Snap.
Okay? So it's like, okay, whatever. I ain't going to worry about it. And I'll tell you who this actor was, because this actor, you'll know who he is.
Okay.
So anyway, 6 weeks go by. And then my manager calls and says, pack your bag. You got to be in New York tomorrow. I said, for what? I said, well, they're firing this guy and they want to hire you. So it's like, wow. Okay. So I pack up and I literally, this is how stupid I was. So, hired a boy to do a man's job.
Shit.
It didn't. But Kennard, who was Electra in Starlight Express, is in the production.
Okay.
And I run into him because they're rehearsing at 890 Broadway. And he's like, Bob, what are you doing here? And I went, oh, no. They haven't told the cast yet, which happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't told the cast yet.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I'm just, pictures, things, whatever. And so he goes up and I go, okay, good. I go in, and 890 Broadway is a famous place with a elevator, tiny little elevator with a chain and the operator in there.
Oh, gotcha.
And in the elevator was Patty Darcy Jones, God rest her soul, she passed away, and my wife sitting on a little suitcase.
Yeah.
And then I walk in, and Patty's, told the story that she was like backing up because there was this heat. Now, she had just gotten divorced and I had gotten divorced, and I was going to be a bachelor forever and never, ever.
You're like, this is not happening again.
I'm never going to date. I'm actually going to pay for hookers because I don't want the responsibility. Because my wife was so good, so good to me. It's like I asked a buddy of mine and said, "Why? What did I do?
Why?
Why?" Goes, it's like she misses me with every bullet in her clip. I don't understand what I've done wrong. So I was done. And we had a son together.
Yeah.
So we get in the elevator. Elevator doors open. They get out. I was the gentleman. I said, after you. And they walk down the hall and they turn right into this room. And I go, oh my God, that's the room I got to go into.
Yeah.
I walk down, I go in, we're partnered together.
Yeah.
For the first time. And then they say, oh, by the way, we got rid of Chip Eston, and this is our new, white guy.
This is your new Bob Torti.
Yeah, I play a lot.
He already said.
Because there's, four African-American, and I played the white guy, just like on Fresh Prince, I played the white guy, which I get a lot because I do that.
Get the white guy.
So literally I think it was about 11 days before we opened in LA. So I had to learn. And it's harder for an actor coming into a scenario where everybody's already bonded, doing the whole thing and stuff. So we'd rehearse all day. They'd go home. I'd rehearse all night. So this went on forever. And in the show, my wife had done, and this was at a time in my wife's career where she was no longer, she's so much more talented than I am, but she's this amazing singer, amazing dancer, amazing actress, the whole thing. But everybody would always cast her as a dancer. Yeah. So she had this number called Bossa Nova Baby, because the hits of Lieber and Stoller were Stand By Me, Spanish Harlem, Yakety Yak, Charlie Brown, everything. And we're trying to make it work. And Jerry says, you know what? It's just not working. We're gonna change. We have this other number that we're gonna put in instead of that. So I start learning this number, and it was this number called Teach Me How to Shimmy. And it wasn't, and that's what my wife is known for Smokey Joe's Cafe. Yeah. Google her.
Her name?
Delee Lively.
Delee.
So the next day, now remember, this is only 3 days after I'm walking into Nobody Knows I'm There. We're stretching out, and I say to her, I go, I'm so sorry about Bossa Nova. And she goes, what are you talking about? I went, what? No, I don't know. I don't know. So she gets up, goes and I just hear this yelling, and it's like, because she's singing and dancing, and she's doing this whole Aunt Margaret thing. Yeah. So Jerry comes out, and this is how the conversation goes. Oh, okay, fine. What do I sing in it? He says, you don't sing. What do I say? You don't. What do I do? You dance. And that was like, I'm feeling horrible. Fast forward to opening night. The number is in the second act. It comes up, and Jerry's act had beautiful design where each scene would seamlessly just appear. Yeah. Something would come across. And that's really good over the mic. Do that, Bob.
Keep doing that. Get it, pop it out.
So opening night, we finish the number. We're frozen like that. She gets, and I'm singing the number, and this is what I know. Nobody's looking at me. Yep. So 4-minute standing ovation. So we're frozen, huff, puff, huff, puff. The doors go past. She looks at me. She goes, I guess it's okay.
Oh, my.
That's how.
You guys are going to kill love letters.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be a lot of fun.
If you don't know anything about love letters, I know we're running out of time, but love letters will be at Monday's Dark with Mark's Place starting tomorrow through Valentine's Day.
Actually, yeah, starts tonight. Ours is tomorrow. Yeah, tonight is Penn Jillette and his wife.
Penn.
Yes.
I think I follow his wife on Twitter.
Yeah,
she's very lively, and your wife lively.
Lively.
That's yours is tomorrow 8 o'clock.
Tomorrow 8 o'clock at the Space.
We're gonna have you on again because we have so much more to cover with his wand.
My wand, and I'll bring in the walking sticks.
Bring in the walking stick and wands.
Yeah.
Happy Friday. I know, right?
Friday.
How often do you hear that? Enjoy your weekend. We're going to Diana Ross tonight. Everyone, have fun. Bye.
Bye.